Hi everybody, I'm going downstairs to record. Oh wait, I can stay up here. We're gonna do a chapter of the Heir. We left off at an interesting place. We're always at an interesting place with the Heir. My dog is downstairs though, so I figured I'd stay up here today. Oh dear. I have a cold, as you can tell.
Messages now. Anon Herzala, you heard. And I know you noticed the shift as well. And understand the bottom of screen. Voice memos. Speech off.
Let me turn off my speech and get ready. I have my door open just in case someone needs me. But for the most part, I'm good and ready to go. So let's get back to Princess Town. Oh my gosh, I got so scared I didn't bookmark anything. Wow. Jeez. Okay. Give me a second. Tick, 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 tick. All right, I'm back. Got my headphones on. Anyway. Chapter 17. How did Josie get her hands on another one of my tiaras? I just about had it with her. She was going to parade around in front of the cameras in her best dress and my tiara, pretending she was royal for the millionth time in her life. I made eye contact and smiled at people as I passed, but I didn't stop to talk to anyone until I found Kyle. He was standing with Henry again, sipping iced tea and watching a game of badminton. Henry bowed right away. "Hello today, Your Highness," he said, his accent making the words sound brighter. "Hello, Henry. Kyle." "Hi, Evelyn." I might have been imagining there was something different about Kyle's voice, but for maybe the first time ever, I wanted to hear him speak. I shook my head, focusing. "Kyle, could you please go talk to your sister?" The contentment in his eyes quickly turned to frustration. Why? What did she do this time? "She's taken yet another one of my tiaras." "Don't you have like 1,000 of those?" I huffed. "That's hardly the point. It's mine, and she shouldn't be wearing it. She walks around like that and gives the impression that she's royal. She's royal when she's not. It's inappropriate. Could you please talk to her about her behavior? When did I become the person who did all these favors for you?" My eyes darted over to Henry and Eric, who didn't know about the arrangement behind our kiss. They didn't seem to catch on. "Please? Please?" I asked in a hushed voice. His eyes softened, and I saw a little of the person he showed me in the room. In his room, someone sweet and disagreeing and engaging. Fine. But Josie just likes attention. I don't think she was doing it to be mean. "Thank you. I'm going. I'm going. Be right back." He stomped off as Eric conveyed what was happening to Henry. Henry cleared his throat before speaking, his words ending on strange pitches. "How are you today, Your Highness?" I wondered I wasn't completely sure if I should try to go through Eric or not. Eric or not. I went with Henry. Very good. You? Good, good, he replied cheerfully. I too enjoy, He turned and conveyed the rest of his comment to Eric. He thinks the party is great and likes the company. I wasn't sure if he meant Kyle or me, but either way, it was nice of him to say. So, when did you move here from Swendway? Henry just nodded his head, as if to confirm he was from Swendway, but not actually answering the question. Eric whispered over to him quickly, and Henry gave him a lengthy reply. That was translated for me. Henry immigrated to Ilia last year when he was 17. He comes from a family of cooks, which is what he does back home. They make food from their homeland. And generally interact with others who also came from Swendway, and others speak French, and only speak Finnish. He has a younger sister who is working very hard on her English, but it's a difficult language. Wow, that was a lot to keep up with, I said to Eric. He waved his hand. I try. I could guess how hard Eric's work was, but I appreciated his modesty. I turned to Henry. We'll have to spend some more time together soon. Where can we talk easier? Eric passed that on to Henry, who nodded vigorously. Yes, yes, I giggled. Until then, the lawn was full of the selected. General Leger had Miss Lucy on his arm as he spoke with a handful of boys by a fountain, and Dad was making his rounds, occasionally clapping someone on the back and saying hello before whisking off again. Mom was sitting in a chair under a parasol, and I wasn't sure if it was charming or unsettling that several of the selected were buzzing around her. It was a delightful party. People were playing games. There was a lot of food, and a string quartet was performing under a canopy. The camera zoomed around, capturing us all, and I hoped this would be enough to calm the people. I had no idea whether Dad was close to having a plan for how to soothe the country permanently. In the meantime, I had to find a way to eliminate at least one person after today, and have a good enough reason to make it seem believable. Kyle sneaked up to me. Here you go. He held my tiara in his hands. I can't believe she gave it up. It took some convincing, but I reminded her that if she made a scene at this event, Mom probably wouldn't let her come to another one. That was enough for her to take it off. So, here. I can't take it, I said, keeping my hands together. But you just asked for it, he complained. I don't want it on her, but I also can't carry it around. I have things to do. He shifted his weight, clearly vexed. It was kind of nice to be on this side of the irritating. So what? I have to hold on to it for the rest of the day? Not the whole day. Just until we go inside, and then I can take it. Kyle shook his head. You're really unbelievable. Hush. Go enjoy the party. But first, wait until we have to take this tie. Wait. We have to take off this tie. He looked down as I started tugging. What's wrong with my tie? Everything, I said. Everything in the universe is wrong with this tie. I bet we could give world peace if we burned it. I got it unknotted and wrapped it up in my hand. That's so much better. I placed the wadded fabric in his palm, grabbed the tiara from his other hand, and placed it on his head. That really works with your hair. He smirked, his eyes staring into mine with amusement. So, since you don't want your tiara now, maybe I could give it back to you tonight. I could come by your room if you like. Kyle bit his lip, and all I could think about was how soft they were. I swallowed, understanding the unspoken question. That would be fine, I answered, fighting a blush. Maybe around 9. 9. Kyle nodded and backed away. So he was just being a discreet on the report. I furrowed my brow and thought, or maybe he was simply planning to pass his time kissing me. Or maybe he'd been deeply in love with me since he was 7 and was only now finding the courage to stop teasing me and say so. Or maybe... Ian walked up and placed his and laced his arm through mine. Oh, I gasped. You look upset. Whatever that little boy said to upset you, don't give it another thought. Sir Ian, I greeted, impressed with how with how calm he was around me. How can I help you? By taking a walk with me, of course. I still haven't got a chance to speak with you, just the two of us. Ian's caramel-colored hair looked almost golden in the sun, and while he didn't have the same cutting-edge style as Hale did, he looked smarter in his suit than most of the others. Some men simply didn't look good in them. Well, you have me alone now. What would you like to talk about? He smirked. Mostly, I'm curious about you. I've always thought of you as very independent, so I was surprised that you would start looking for a husband so young. Based on seeing you with the report and all the specials on your family, I thought you'd take your time. He knew. He was so calm in his assessment. I was so sure he knew this was all for show. It's true. I planned to wait, but my parents are so blissfully in love. I thought this might be worth trying. Ian examined me. Do you feel like any one of these candidates truly has what it takes to be your partner? I raised my eyebrows. Do you think so? Do you think so little of yourself? He stopped walking, and we faced each other. No, but I think very highly of you, and I can't see you deigning to settle before you've really lived. It seemed impossible that a stranger could see so much, especially considering the lengths I took to guard my thoughts and feelings. How closely had Ian been watching me all these years? People can change, I replied vaguely. He nodded. They can, I suppose. But if you ever find yourself feeling lost in this competition, I'd be happy to help you in any way I can. And how exactly would you help me? Ian gently escorted me back toward the crowd. I think that's a conversation for another day. But know that I am here for you, Your Highness. He stared deep into my eyes, as if he thought that all my secrets would spill out if he held my gaze long enough. I found myself needing to take some deep breaths once we finally broke eye contact. It's a lovely day. I looked up and one of the selected was standing there. It's a lovely day. There we go. I was completely blanking on his name. Yes, it is. Are you having a good time? Oh, please, what was his name? I am. He had a very friendly face and a pleasant warmth to his voice. I just won a round of croquet. Do you play? A little. How I was going to figure this out. Do you play a lot? Do you play it back home? Nah, not really. Up in White's. It's mostly winter sports. White's? Nope, still didn't have it. If I'm honest, I'm a bit more of an indoor girl. Well then, you'd love White's, he said with a laugh. I only get out when I have to. Excuse me. White's boy, and I turned to the newcomer. This one I knew. White's boy, and I turned to the newcomer. This one I knew. I'm sorry, Your Highness, but I was hoping I could steal you away for a moment. Certainly, Holden. I took his arm. Nice talking to you, I said to White's boy, who looked a bit forlorn. I hope that wasn't too rude of me, Holden said as we wandered off. Not at all. We moved slowly, and he seemed comfortable, but he'd walked with a princess dozens of times. I don't want to keep you. I only wanted to tell you that I admired the way you cut people last week. I was taken aback. Really? Absolutely. I admire a woman who knows what she wants. And I like that you're assertive. My mother is the head of a lab back in Bankston. I know how hard it is to run something that small, so the pressure you must be under is hard for me to imagine. But you do it well, and I like that. I just wanted you to know that. I stepped back. Thank you, Holden. He nodded, and I walked away, lost in thought. This entire situation only confirmed what I knew to be true. If I came in sweet and gentle, no one would take me seriously. If I had kindly tapped people on the shoulder and hugged them on their way, would Holden have admired me less? The whole thing was... Oh! I fell to the side, only missing the ground because of a pair of steady arms. Your Highness! Hale clutched my arms, helping to pull me up. I'm so sorry. I didn't see you. I'm so sorry. I didn't see you. I heard the click of a camera nearby and pushed my my cheeks up into a smile. Laugh, I said through my teeth. Huh? Help me up and laugh it off. I giggled, and after a moment, Hale gave a few chuckles. What was that about? He kept a smile on his face. I straightened my dress as I explained. The camera crew are here. The camera crew are watching. He glanced to the side. Don't, I urged, and he faced me again. Yikes, are you always on the lookout like that? This time my laugh was genuine. Basically, his smile faded. Is that why you ran away the other night? My face became serious as well. I'm sorry. I wasn't feeling well. First you run and then you lie. He shook his head, disappointed. No, Edlin, he whispered. That wasn't easy for me. I don't like talking about my dad dying or my mom having a hard time keeping a job or my family losing our status. That was difficult for me to share. And when we started really talking about you left me. That prickling, naked feeling came over me again. I sincerely apologize, Hale. He studied my face. I think you mean that. I swallowed, nervous. But I like you all the same. Wait, hold on. I don't think you mean that. I swallowed, nervous, but I like you all the same. I looked up at him, mesmerized by that possibility. When you're ready to really talk, I'll be here. Unless, of course, you come in and ninja eliminate me like you did those other guys. I laughed awkwardly. I don't think that'll happen again. I hope not. Hale stared, and I didn't like that. His eyes felt like they could dig several layers beneath my skin. Glad your dress didn't get stained. Would have been a pity. He went to leave, but I grabbed his arm. Hey, thank you for being reserved. On the report. He grinned. Something every day, remember?